Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. Have you been working on it? Is it working? Has anything changed from last year, a year ago, at this point in time, where whatever date it is? When you think of yourself a year ago, have things improved or have they progressively gotten worse or seemingly worse? Don't be too quick to judge what worse is, right? Sometimes real breakthroughs can really shake up our world and create some pain along the way. But a lot of those breakthroughs, well, actually all of those breakthroughs take you to a different place and allow you to make a different decision. So I want to talk today about you can change anything. Now, I talk about so many different things, but ultimately, you pretty much know all of this stuff. Sometimes you just have to hear it from somebody else or have them phrase it a different way. And then, of course, I talk about stuff that's way out there that you're trying to wrap your head around. But today I'm going to talk about some pretty basic things that I want to remind you of that you may not be doing. In fact, it's part of the human challenge is to break past these old habits of limiting ourselves, hanging on to fear, so that we can go live those awesome lives that await us. They're existing right now. Every reality that could ever possibly be for you exists at each and every moment. I want you to remember that. It's all just a matter of choice, okay? That is the key word. All right, hold on. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Yow, it's hot. Okay. Thanks. All right, so choice. You say, okay, yeah, whatever. There is no situation, no feeling, no health issue, no relationship issue, no money issue, nothing. There's nothing that exists right now in your life that you cannot change. Fact. There's nobody outside of you that creates whatever situation you're in. Nobody. So people have made comments like, you know, if people choose certain things or whatever's happening, I can't believe that the, you know, molested children or, you know, starving people chose that. Well, I guess the question I have for you is, where's that line? Where do you draw that line where, okay, well, these people chose it, but these people didn't? I mean, how bad does it have to be before they're victims of an outside force, that they're not worthy, or that they do not have the powers, and that these people do? It's either all or nothing. You have to either know it's all or nothing. You can't have it one way, because you may decide, well, they may have chose the abuse because look at what happened. They had this big breakthrough and, you know, now they're a spiritual leader or whatever they're doing. And that, well, this person, no. You either believe that or you don't. And if you don't believe that, then you believe that there are other forces and things that took your energy and control it. It manipulates you. It decides, you know, whether or not it's more powerful than you. And that doesn't exist. We all have the power. We all have different individual gifts and situations here on earth that have allowed us to create a certain journey. And we miss that. We're so busy trying to escape that we're not understanding that that's where the power lies. The power lies in that situation that you're in that you don't love. That's the breakthrough point. And that's the choice. So I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, if anything ever comes in my head, you know, sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and some bizarro thing, you know, shows up, or, you know, if I really go, wow, where's this coming from? Instead of maybe making a choice, like saying, okay, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to choose these thoughts that I know are true. If that doesn't work for you, another technique that I use is, what would the perfect enlightened Landria do? I mean, don't you ask that. You use your name in there. What would the perfect Bob, what would the enlightened Bob do? How would the enlightened Bob feel right now? And you can actually tune into that energy, because that enlightened, perfect person exists right now in a dual reality with you. So when you focus your energy and push it over here and say, okay, how would they feel? You start to imagine how they feel. Well, they would be at total peace. In fact, they'd be laying here laughing, thinking, none of this is important. I can have anything I want. What am I going to do with this? Let's get excited. Wow, I'm in this challenging situation now. Ooh. Instead of going, help me, get me out of here. That's that disempowering thing saying, I didn't choose this. Somebody else imposed this on me. I am powerless. You have more power. You can manifest things and I can't. Then I'll believe it. If you manifest things for me, then I'll believe it. That's not how it works. Free will is your journey, your destiny, your choice. Whether it's darkness or light, it's equally as powerful in choice, right? It's equally powerful in choice because we all have the same manifesting capability. So if you're choosing something in the dark side, you're allowed to do that. And that is part of what people get so ticked off about. I didn't choose it. No, whatever scenario you got involved in was a choice to go to that dark place, to experience it. Because through that come breakthroughs that are enormous, that take your soul to the highest frequency. Forgiveness is the biggest one. Can you go into that situation and forgive? It's not about them. It's not about what the others are doing. We get hung up on what the others are doing. It's about you. It's about your journey, what you're choosing. You get to choose. That is the number one thing. You can change anything right now. Everything has a positive, good purpose. It really does. It was part of the experiencing of the one energy. You know, I actually cried last night. I was sitting here and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is all so beautiful. And we're walking around on this planet not understanding or recognizing just how incredible the smallest experiences are. And that how we miss those small, beautiful experiences of a sun coming up. And somebody might say, oh, this is sappy and whatever. It's because you're not connected. You're not connected to what you are. Because when you are connected and those veils come down, the density comes down, you will see the sunshine in a way you've never seen it before. And that is part of your journey, is to connect to that. To understand that all these things that happen around you, neither good nor bad, part of the experience. And because we as humans feel bad at that point, we say, oh, this shouldn't be happening. And herein lies the rejection of the human experience that allows you to become something really fabulous. If you are in a situation that you do not want to be in right now, you have the power to change it right now. Is somebody going to drop $1 million in your house, or Mr. or Miss Perfect show up? Yes, possibly. Yes, possibly. Don't put time constraints on that. But what's going to happen is that breakthrough, that spiritual breakthrough, is going to happen, and that will place you in a position of peace and joy, no longer needing that thing that you're striving for right now, that you think is going to make you happy, no longer needing it to be happy. That is the key. And that choice to no longer suffer, to no longer need that thing to be happy, and this is the toughest thing, this is our biggest challenge here, not needing the thing or the person or the situation to be happy, first is what creates that serene, beautiful world. And what will happen, which happens with pretty much everybody that goes into the awakened state, they sort of don't need that stuff anymore. They actually are so blissful and happy, and then beautiful things show up, and abundance shows, and they always have what they need, and many times have strictly what they desire, even if they don't need it. But it doesn't really hold the same meaning, because we came here to find that bliss again, to reconnect to it, raise the frequency of this planet, because it went a little bit crazy. Yeah, went a little bit out there. And you're here in a specific time to be a part of that frequency rise. And we're going to do it. We're doing it. And this is where the suffering ends, is understanding that bigger picture of reconnecting and knowing that when we all go into that euphoric, high frequency, everything works. Abundance, joy. No need to even forgive. I did a video a long time ago, probably 2 years ago, on forgiveness. You know what true forgiveness is? When you don't even need to forgive anymore. Because you don't feel like anybody did anything wrong. You just know it's part of the experience. In fact, you understand the value in it. You go, okay, I don't need to forgive you. You were playing a role that for whatever reason you decided and you made a choice, whether it was in advance or when you suddenly came here and changed your mind. We do have free will. I was in that position to participate in that. Hold on. To participate in that scenario. I don't need to understand it. All I know is, what am I going to do with that scenario, and how am I going to handle it? How am I going to feel and think about it? How am I going to transform that into something meaningful? And what am I going to learn from this? And how am I going to make a new choice and pull out of that and maybe do something in this lifetime that you didn't do in the last lifetime? Maybe you hung on to bitterness or anger or blame, and you're not going to do it this time. What am I going to get from that? That's the value. And we start to all pull out of it. And there's no blame anymore, because you realize it's just all part of the play. The learning, the experience, the ability to create things and experience things in our spiritual human experience that we will never experience on the other side, because we won't be encumbered with all of this density. You, first and foremost, have an assignment, and that is to be your best, to make choices that are going to take you to higher levels. You can also choose not to, but that will eventually be something you're going to have to deal with. If you have to come back another 100 times, that will be your mission ultimately. And if you don't do it here on Earth, you may have to go to a lower frequency planet to work that out, because it will no longer be welcome here. It will not, you won't resonate with the fourth and fifth dimension, or whatever dimension this planet's going to continue to go on to. It's going to spit us off. You know, like fleas on a dog, right? Don't serve any good purpose at all. And so you get to choose every moment. You can change this situation you're in. What about it is bothering you? What about this situation is so painful for you? I know a lot of you, it's financial. Financial is like a very physical thing to see. Or, it's financial, health, relationships are the three big ones, right? You want love. That's looking outside yourself. When you love yourself and you're happy, people will be attracted to you, because they're going to go, wow, I want to be around that energy. That's really cool. I want somebody to love me for me. You're always you. Be an awesome you. And then have that right person will want you, because they're going to be on that frequency of the you that is on a higher frequency. Instead of the lower you frequency is why you're attracting jerks. I want them to love me for me. Why am I getting these jerks? Because you're resonating on jerk level. Nothing wrong with jerk level, but jerks hang with jerks. And they're both unhappy, and then they both blame each other. So when you stop doing that and you resonate on the frequency of that of which you want, I am worthy of wealth. I am connected to all that energy. I am that energy. So I can bring it in anytime I want. What do I want? You can bring it in. It's that belief. It's that belief. You have to work on that. You have got to start working on that. So you get to choose right now. And I know you're like, this isn't easy. No, I didn't say it was going to be easy. If it was, then none of us would be suffering. Choose. What's my higher self feeling right now? Joy, and knowing that I can turn all of this around, and that I need to focus on that which I'm passionate about, that which makes me feel good and right. And no matter what anybody says around me, that which I know is true for me, which you don't have to share with anybody. and set yourself up for criticism. Quit worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. That's your ego. You know that? That's your ego going, I need approval. Oh, they don't love me, and oh, please quit the victim role. It's just getting a little tiring, don't you think? Take charge. I'm sorry you don't agree with me. You don't even have to share your opinion. I'm sorry you feel that way. You're allowed your opinion. I've got mine. And this is my life. I'm going to live it the way I choose. And thank you. I know you mean the best for me. Because most people do. They think that they're doing something good for you. So look at this outside world and remember, it's just as messed up, right, as the next person. There's nobody out there with this ultimate answer. Even Eckhart Tolle and, Buddha, Dalai Lama cannot sit there and give you those answers. They can only guide you. You have the answers and you get to make that choice. What are you going to choose? Choose it. Choose a higher thought. Choose a higher action. Choose a higher action. Don't be complaining about your weight and all this stuff. Put the food down. There will be challenges. Stop dating the jerks. Stop blaming everybody else for your poverty and start knowing that you can create anything you want and start finding that. Look for it. That's part of your journey. It may not plop in your lap right away. There's an evolution of you letting go of that poverty mindset and finding that wealth. There's going to be some learning along the way. You're going to find out that's not something you just do overnight. You have to unlearn certain things. You're going to still hang on to the negative, self-defeating thoughts. You got to let those go. That's part of your journey. You're going to feel yourself getting more powerful and stronger and getting up there. That's part of the journey, the learning. Don't miss that. Instead, everybody wants to go up here. And then, if that doesn't work, they're back down here again. No, the journey. Okay, this didn't work. What did I learn? I'm not doing the other stuff that I used to do. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm not going back to that comfort level of the job I hate or the circumstances I hate. I'm going to change that. I'm going to do the work. Wow, I might actually evolve as a human being and a vibration in a way I didn't expect, because the things that are happening to me and for me along the way are incredible. And they're always going to lead to higher things because you're expanding on the higher frequency. Always make sure you're expanding on the higher frequency. And yes, fear's going to be there. You know this channel's about fear. It's going to be there. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is just part of our collective consciousness that has been used in a negative way. You don't have to. And be sure you separate fear from intuition. Every time you make a change, fear will probably be involved in there somewhere. When you make a new choice, fear will want you to go back to the old situation because it just thinks it's protecting you of doing something you're familiar with. That's all it's doing. It's your friend. Don't be at odds with anything. Be compassionate. Say, you know what? You served the human race for a while in its density. It's no longer useful. And it's not useful in my life. And when it shows up, I'm going to choose the higher, enlightened Landria's thoughts and feelings. And I know what those are. And as soon as I tune into them, I feel them again. I go, okay, there we go. We're back in check. We're back into who we are. Because you're always going to have these challenges. You are on a planet that is very dense. You've got to be steadfast. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you because you and I are one energy, expressing itself individually. Quantum physics, fact. We are connected. So be careful of your thoughts, your beliefs, your intentions, and ask yourself, is this truly what I'm about? Am I about that thing I'm so desperately need that I think is going to make me happy? What am I about? And watch the floodgates of abundance open up for you when you release it. And you choose and choose and choose. Even when the higher choice may not feel familiar or good at the point, but you know it is the higher choice, do it. And all of a sudden you become it. And it becomes natural for you. And all kinds of beautiful things and people and situations will show up. That's the law. You're whole and perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You truly are. Connect to that. Sending you light, love, joy, abundance, prosperity, health, wealth, peace. Namaste.